I'm Justin King and I'm the Chief Executive of Sainsbury Supermarkets. I went to what was a boys' school, it was a grammar school. It then became a comprehensive and girls were involved, and that got in the way a bit of my O-levels as they were then, GCSEs now, and my A-levels. I was fortunate I was very good at maths and subjects related to that, so maths, physics, chemistry, that kind of thing I found relatively easy. I know that's not the case for many people. I count myself lucky. I went to university back in 1979, you'll be able to date me from that, and I did a business degree. I never had a plan. I realised in the last year at university I needed a job. I targeted just half a dozen companies that had fantastic reputations for graduate training schemes, and very fortunately got on the graduate training scheme at Mars. So I started out in food. That was, if you like, the accident of that. I went from Mars to work internationally with PepsiCola. I then came back to the UK, set up the Haagen Dazs ice cream business in the UK around 1990. And at about that time, the retail market in the UK was being shaken up. Asda were on their knees, and they phoned me up and said, had you ever thought about working in retail? So again, it was somewhat accidental. I crossed the desk, if you like. I'd spent a lot of time selling to retailers, so I knew a lot about it from that side of the table. So I joined Asda, and the last 20 odd years of my career have been spent in retail as a result. The biggest single thing that retail has is how dynamic an environment it is. You know, day to day, driving sales, dealing with customers. You know, we have 150,000 people work in Sainsbury's. We call them colleagues. We serve 23 million customers a week. You know, this is an exciting, fast-moving environment. And what that does is it creates opportunity. And I think retail, more than any other sector, has the potential to create opportunity for anybody, whatever their educational background. You know, if you look at our store managers today, around a third of them joined us before their 19th birthday. That means they didn't go to university. In fact, many of them joined us 16, perhaps as a Saturday job, whilst they were doing their A-levels. Of course, there are people like me who have done a degree, but all points in between, whatever your starting point in retail, you genuinely have the potential to go all the way to the top. I think the key tips that I'd give young people, it starts with being yourself. You know, retail is an industry where you have to be real because, you know, enthusiasm comes from the heart. So be yourself. You have to be true to the idea that retail is somewhere that you enjoy, and that means contact with customers. The second is hard work. Nothing beats hard work. You know, people notice when you're working hard. You don't always have to be the very best. I can think of times in my career when I haven't been the best as I've looked around, but I've tried to make up for that by working harder. The third thing I'd say is grab opportunities when they come. Too often people say, I'm not sure, you know, this is the bit of the business I know, and something else comes along, it's a new opportunity. You've got to take those risks and grab those opportunities. Fourth thing from me would be take the opportunities to improve yourself. Learning is lifelong. So even if you haven't got formal qualifications, opportunities will come along, and take those opportunities. That might be going and doing a degree at night school, or it might be just going and taking the bakery training and joining our bakery apprentice scheme. It can take any form. And the final thing that I would say is never give up. I think too often people give up at the first hurdle, and in my experience the people that get on in life are those that won't take no for an answer, those that actually say, do you know what, I'm going to build from that knockback and be a better person next time, and they're the ones that go on to win in the end. I don't think one role model. I consider myself a little bit of a thief. I'll steal my ideas from wherever I see them. I haven't had a boss in my working life that I haven't learned something from. You know, when I was a young person, my sporting hero was Bobby Charlton. It's why I became a Manchester United fan. What I loved about Bobby Charlton, apart from the fact he was a fabulous footballer, was he did everything the right way. You know, fair play, I think, was really what marked him out as a special human as well as a special footballer. So I have a lot of sporting heroes, but then along the way I've worked for a lot of really good business people, and I've learned a lot from them. I think that hard work always pays in the end. You've got it within you. The one thing that people can't stop you from doing is trying that bit harder. So always turn back on yourself. When something's not going your way, don't worry about what maybe other people might do for you. Focus on what more you can do for yourself, and hard work and focusing on what you can do for yourself will usually get you what you want to achieve. We have great training programs, whether it be for young people that joined us with very few qualifications, age 16, or indeed our graduate training scheme. We call it our Future Leaders Scheme. And leaders can come from almost anywhere in Sainsbury's. We have one of the two most senior people in our IT department actually started out as a store detective, and his route to the top was he got involved in the security side of the business. That became increasingly technical, as you could imagine, cameras and security on computer systems, and that developed a particular interest, and ultimately here he is 20 years down the road in a very senior job within our IT department. So again, it's about this thing of there being so many different opportunities. It's very rare in retail that people's jobs progress in a straight line fashion. You've got to grab opportunities as they come around the business. I'm an enthusiastic kind of person. I don't take no for an answer. I think I take knockbacks well when they come. I always come back fighting, and I always try and give of my best. Again, we touched earlier on career planning. I've never been a great career planner. My career plan has always been the same. Do the job I'm doing now as well as I possibly can, and when what looks like a great opportunity turns up, grab it with both hands and attack it with enthusiasm.